importance in the life of the nation. The governor, who made the call in his Easter message to the people of Ogun State and Nigerians, noted that it is important for Christians to understand the significance of the celebration by appreciating the central theme of sacrifice, death on the cross, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Amosun, in his Easter message signed by his Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Rotimi Drojaye, urged Christians to rededicate themselves to the values of love, peace, sacrifice, and tolerance. In his words, as we celebrate Easter, let us reflect on the significance of the season, which is love and sacrifice, to unite as a people. Easter gives us the spiritual power to appreciate the truth that his dying moment on the cross offers us the greatest illustration of forgiveness, faith, and belief necessary to strive as one indivisible nation. Amosun stressed that Christ's resurrection was not to engage in wild and elaborate celebration, but to give our lives meaning and direction and the opportunity to close ranks, no matter our differences and circumstances. The governor wished Christians and all Nigerians lasting peace, love, and warmth of friendship. The Group Managing Director of the Nigeria Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), Dr. Mekante Baru, has reaffirmed the readiness of the NNPC to ensure adequate supply of petroleum products across the country during the Easter holidays and beyond. A statement by the NNPC Group General Manager, Public Affairs, Ndu Ngamadu, said the corporation's healthman informed that NNPC is currently responsible for 75% of gas supply to power to the country. This amounts to 300 million standard cubic feet of gas per day to the power plant. He added that there is seamless supply of petroleum products and both stability in prices of goods and services. The fourth edition of the African Drum Festival, an initiative of the Ogun State government, begins on Thursday 25th till Saturday 27th April 2019. Scheduled for the first day, 25th April, is the launch of Adire Ogun Seal from 12 noon at the Amphitheatre City Center, Abeokuta. Day 2 of the event begins with Roundtable at the Rock with the theme Rhythm and Tonality Correlation between Percussion and Melody in African Musical Composition. Venue is Olumo Rock from 11 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. Unveiling of Kuti Heritage House will follow shortly at the Amphitheatre City Center from 3 in the afternoon. On the last day, Saturday 27th April, an event tagged Rail, Rhythm and Ride will feature festival parade, bus ride, live band from the Laderi train station to Olumo Rock. A workshop and workshop performance will follow at the Amphitheatre City Center, Abeokuta, from noon. Troops expected this year are Amabana Legacy, Burundi, Ayoyinka Olowo Gongon, Ara the Drummer, Alasimusi Bata, and Adele Unique Finger. The theme for this year's event is Drumming the Future. As part of efforts at encouraging self-help projects and community development in Ogun State, the State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives has presented certificates to Kori Area Community Development Committee after necessary requirements for certification as CDC. Presenting the certificate was the Commissioner in the Ministry, accompanied by the Permanent Secretary, Director, and staff of the Ministry, and the Ofada Mokoloki Local Council Development Area, under which the newly certified ACDC is. Elizabeth Esson was at the Korioja ground venue of the presentation for OJTV News. I report.
Bringing government and infrastructure developments to the grassroots can only be achieved by encouraging community development associations in towns and villages. Ogun State government is not lacking behind in this, as the state, through the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, always see it as an essential duty to inspect community development areas as well as present certificates to successful community which have met necessary requirements to become an area community development committee.
We have been able to establish 235 area CDC in Ogun State, and there is no government that can do it alone. We need the support of the CDCs as much as possible to support the government, and they are doing their best to support
the permanent secretary in the ministry and the chairman of Father Mokoloki Local Council Development Area congratulate Kori Oja and urge them not to relent on their efforts at complementing government's efforts at providing necessary infrastructure development in their communities.
It is a great thing that you have done. The Lord will replenish in the mighty name of Jesus. I congratulate everyone that has been involved.
CDA lókù fún ìjọba àwarawa bá lè ṣe bá ń sọ pé ìdàgbàsókè ìlú wa olóúnjẹ wa lógún olóúnjẹ wa jẹ àwa Father Mokoloki NCDA olóúnjẹ wa lógún.
In their different speeches, the chairman of Father Area CDC, Chairman Kori Oja Area CDC and the Bale Kori Oja thanked the state government and the ministry for the certification and promised to continue to complement government activities.
We have been trained in Shasha. We pick up this market as our project and we'll continue to work on this market. And this market begin to compete with new markets. That is our vision in Kori Area CDC.
Oh, faster. Torí certificate mi iṣẹ́ tí mo ṣe láàrin 3 months mo ṣiṣẹ́. 3 months mo wá fi ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn sòwò rẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́gbọ̀n community mi wọ́n dìde gbogbo nǹkan tí ò yé wọn àsọyéjọ yíra wa àrẹjọ tẹ̀síwájú inú mi wá dùn lónìí.
Goodwill messages were delivered after which certificate was presented to the committee members, while some of the projects embarked upon and completed by Kori Area Community Development Committee were commissioned. Kori Area Community Development Committee comprised 43 community development areas under Father Mokoloki Local Council Development Area of Ogun State. Elizabeth Eson, OGTV News.
A respite has finally come the way of residents of Abuleori, Oshoku, and other 9 neighboring countries of Olokuta, Idiaba, Abeokuta that were cut off due to the ongoing modern haulage Lagos-Abeokuta-Ibadan railway network. Spokesperson of the China Civil Engineering Construction Company and Nigeria Railway Corporation, Engineer Musa Abdullahi, who is in charge of the zone, instructed rail workers along the stretch of DK82 Terminal Station, Abuleori, to fix a passable road for the people without further delay. Peter Falomo completes the story.
The construction of modern haulage rail network from Lagos en route Abeokuta to Ibadan, embarked upon by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, has become the pride of the nation. However, the construction of such magnitude is widely believed to affect structures that would need to give right of way for the construction of the new rail transportation. The railway construction was temporarily halted by residents of Abuleori, Oshoku, who protested nonchalant attitude by the workers on the plight of those living in the area.
What we are experiencing in this community is that during this rainy season, what they were doing here is just for their job to continue, not minding the road users of this community. When it is raining like this, it is very difficult and impossible for us to pass through this road.
Bá a ṣe ń bọ̀ mo ń bọ̀ lójú ọ̀nà òjò rọ̀ òjò dá mo rì sínú kinní bẹ́ẹ̀ àárọ̀ ọjọ́ Monday la ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ náǹfààní àti wá gbé mọ́tò yẹn jáde.
Àwọn ọmọ tó bá fẹ́ gun ní kòtò gbogbo aṣọ wọn ti máa pọ́n wọ́n ń ṣe exam lọ́wọ́ ọrùn la fi à ń kọ́kọ́ lọ́rùn la ń gbé àwọn ọmọ láìṣe páàní mọ́tò.
Arrival of representative of CCECC and Nigerian Railway Corporation, Engineer Musa Abdullahi, in response to the challenges of the people, was the beginning of temporary solution to the plight of the people on inspection of the area.
As I always say, every good thing comes with a price. For me, they are only paying the price for greatness. Even what they are demanding for now
is a temporary measure. Now, there's a bridge over there, an overhead bridge for them. But, this is a concrete job. If you cast it, you have to wait for a certain days for it to get okay before they can start using it. So as soon as the concrete job are completed, now they are going to get even more than what they are asking for. They are going to do a palliative measure now before I leave this place.
The immediate widening of road for easy passage for vehicles became a relief for the people.
We sincerely apologize for the picture freeze there. Child sexual abuse can occur in variety of settings, including home, schools, or places of work where child labor is common. The global prevalence of child sexual abuse has been estimated at 19.7% for females and 7.9% for males, and the position of the law is clear on penalties to be meted against offenders as sexual abuse against minor, which has become the menace that requires quick societal attention.
Child sexual abuse prevention programs were developed in the United States of America in the 70s. However, a 2009 meta-analysis of 65 studies from 22 countries found a global prevalence of 19.7% for females and 7.9% for males. According to research accounts, therefore, Africa had the highest prevalence rate of sexual abuse against minor. Recently, a middle-aged man was sentenced to life imprisonment at a high court sitting in Ishabo, Abeokuta, for having carnal knowledge on a 9-year-old minor, thereby infecting the child with HIV. As an offense violating Child Rights Act, definitely such would attract certain penalty according to the law.
The law provides that young people, minor, whether male or female, should be protected from any form of abuse. When there is a sexual abuse against a minor under the law, it's not a capital offense. But outrightly, some people are suggesting the fact that it should be made a capital offense. But it's this defilement.
Identifying possible means of curbing this act, it could be said that offenders might be under a particular influence which could aid sexual abuse against minor.
You see a lot of nudity, pornography that is suggesting interrelation in sexual relationship with children of 6, 7, and you'll be shocked. So when people have access to such material, you will expect that as human, they might want to, put that to practice.
Most of those people that go into such acts, if you look at it, they have psychiatric issues. They are emotionally imbalanced. Because for an adult to rape a 3-year-old girl, 2-year-old, 1-year-old, even baby, we've seen it going viral on the social media. So how do we curb it? We start from empowering our psychiatric processes and encouraging people to visit when they have problem, internal problem, emotional problem, psychological problem. And apart from that, when we impose maximum punishment, it deters them also. It's a way to curb it, because once you know that somebody has been punished, then you will be able to know I have to run away from this particular act.
Although not a capital offense according to law, child sexual abuse is outlawed nearly everywhere in the world with severe criminal penalties.
Sexual assault against minor is something everybody condemns all over the world. If somebody could be debased so low to that level of having carnal knowledge of a child of 9, 6, 7 that we see, if you ask me, I doubt if that person ought to live. If that happens within Islam, the penalty is death.
Meanwhile, a study found out that men with history of victimization, especially having been raped or otherwise sexually coerced, are liable to commit sexual abuse against minor. Moreni Keji, Shobaloju, OGTV News.
We'll take a break on the news now. We'll be back after this time out. Just stay with us. Yeah, welcome back. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control says high level of drug abuse is responsible for the spate of kidnapping, dangerous driving, terrorism, and other ills plaguing the country. The agency warns that Nigeria has a high rate and the prevalence rate of drug addicts across the country. The agency said it was shocking that Nigeria was leading even beyond the international coverage of drug abuse globally. The Director of Public Affairs NAFDAC, Dr. Abubakar Jimoh, said this while speaking with newsmen in Ilorin. Jimoh said that agency has an average conservative estimate of about 15 million people who are on drugs, and 3 million of them could be conveniently called drug addicts. According to him, this development has forced the agency to conclude that the level of drug abuse has led to the high level of violence, kidnapping, terrorism, armed robbery, and even dangerous driving by some Nigerian drivers. He said most youths under the age bracket of 19 to 22 and even parents, both male and female, are seriously engaged in taking the hard concussion. Jimoh recalled that NAFDAC had recently destroyed billions of naira worth of containers loaded with tramadol and other related hard drugs, which if it had ordinarily gone to circulation, would have destroyed several lives. 2 drug barons suspected to specialize in trafficking hard drugs to Saudi Arabia have been arrested in Kano by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency with substances suspected to be cocaine. The suspects were arrested on their way to Sudan and claimed that the substance was meant to be delivered to Saudi Arabia. Sequel to the great concern on the rising cases of drug abuse in the state, the Kano command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency launched an aggressive onslaught on hard drug barons. This is to reduce to the barest minimum the demand by cutting the supply chain. The effort led to the arrest of 2 suspects, Abubakar Muhammad and Ibrahim Mustafa, as well as the seizure of 2.9 kilograms of cocaine, the first of its kind in the command.
Intelligence-led investigation which is being involved all over the world.
In the first quarter of 2019, the Kano State Command of the NDLEA seized a total of 836.09 kilograms of drugs comprising cannabis, tramadol, cat, and cocaine. Also arrested were 4 suspected armed robbers along Kano Road. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has said Nigeria is bracing into the ICT world. This was when he inspected facilities at the Galaxy Backbone with a mandate on the management to ensure that Nigerians connected to the pole-band cyber system to enhance the takeoff of e-government in all government agencies. The Galaxy Backbone Limited is the sole provider of internet services for both government agencies and corporations and organizations in Nigeria, with facilities spread across the country. As part of preparations for the inauguration of the new government come May 29, there is a need to embark on new e-government master plan stride to connect all ministries and parastatals in order to do away with the paper culture in the public service. This stride, according to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, will enhance quick service delivery and efficiency in the implementation of government programs for the good of the populace. As Galaxy Backbone Limited is making efforts to give Nigeria a new lease of life in the internet world.
I believe that the way forward in efficiency, effectiveness, and to deliver on the mandate of the government.
Whenever you digitize government, you also have the problem of the fact that you're making government advance. Therefore, the people that you're trying to service must also be carried along. So whatever we are deploying is not limited to only government. Schools, hospitals.
The Galaxy Backbone facilities have so far covered 11 states and the FCT in the first phase, with a target of reaching 20 more states in the second phase in order to connect the country with the cyber world. Foreign news now. Sudan's public prosecution has commenced investigation of ousted President Omar al-Bashir on charges of money laundering and possession of large sums of foreign currency without legal grounds, a judicial source said. The source said that military intelligence has searched Bashir's home and found suitcases loaded with more than 351,000 US dollars and 6 million euros, as well as 5 million Sudanese pounds. The chief said on the 11th of April by the military following months of protest against his rule and had been held at the presidential palace. Mr. Kehinde Daniel Shotubo, former journalist and broadcaster at several media houses, is dead. He lost the battle to stroke on Thursday, 11th of April 2019 at his residence in Ibafo, Ogun State. He was buried after a service was conducted in his honor. Several people attended the brief ceremony, including close friends, siblings, and neighbors. He will be fondly remembered for being the brains behind several television programs still being aired. He is survived by his wife and children. And just before we finally leave, we take the Orio-Shoko community story once again. A respite has finally come the way of residents of Abule Orio-Shoko and other 9 neighboring communities of Olokuta, Idiaba, Abeokuta that were cut off due to the ongoing modern haulage Lagos-Abeokuta-Ibadan railway network. Spokesperson of China Civil Engineering Company and Nigeria Railway Corporation, Engineer Musa Abdullahi, who is in charge of the zone, instructed rail workers along the stretch of DK82 Terminal Station, Abuleuri, to fix a passable road for the people without further delay. Peter Falomo completes the report.
Construction of modern haulage rail network from Lagos en route Abeokuta to Ibadan, embarked upon by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, has become the pride of the nation. However, the construction of such magnitude is widely believed to affect structures that would need to give right of way for the construction of the new rail transportation. The railway construction was temporarily halted by residents of Abule Orio-Shoko, who protested nonchalant attitude by the workers on the plight of those living in the area.
What we are experiencing in this community is that during this rainy season, what they were doing here is just for their job to continue, not minding the the road users of this community. When it is raining like this, it is very difficult and impossible for us to pass through this road.
Bá a ṣe ń bọ̀ lójú ọ̀nà, òjò rọ̀ òjò dá, mo rì sínú kinní bẹ́ẹ̀. Àárọ̀ ọjọ́ Monday la ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ láǹfààní àti wá gbé mọ́tò yẹn jáde.
Àwọn ọmọ tó máa fẹ́ gun ní kòtò gbogbo aṣọ wọn ti máa kún. Wọ́n ń ṣe exam lọ́wọ́, ọrùn la fi kọ́kọ́ lọ́rùn la ń gbé àwọn ọmọ láì ṣe páàní mọ́tò.
Arrival of representative of CCECC and Nigerian Railway Corporation, Engineer Musa Abdullahi, in response to the challenges of the people, was the beginning of temporary solution to the plight of the people on inspection of the area.
As I always say, every good thing comes with a price. For me, they are only paying the price for greatness. Even what they are demanding for now is a temporary measure. Now, there's a bridge over there, an overhead bridge for them. But, you know, this is a concrete job. If you cast it, you have to wait for a certain days for it to get okay before they can start using it. So as soon as the concrete job are completed, now
also have an issue, so which presently they are attending to us right now.
The barricade to train carriage was thereafter removed. Peter Falomo, OGTV News.
And please remember, unity is strength. Where there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. That was the news. Thanks for being part of it. It's bye for now.
This is OGTV.
African Drum Festival, celebrating our culture in a grand style.
This is OGTV, the People's Telly.
Hello and welcome to this week edition of your darling program from the stable of the News and Current Affairs Directorate here in OGTV. I am Bukola Agbakisu. This week on the program, we shall be taking a critical look at a popular food grain widely consumed among human population across the globe. As we all know, rice has become one staple food that has provided more than 1/5 of the calories consumed worldwide. Every household, particularly in Nigeria, preferred rice to other foods available in the country. You care to know why the staple food is now the most considered? Sit back and enjoy the program as another history was made by a community leader, Chief Oladele Odugbemi, whose developmental efforts in Lisa community just yielded fruitful reward. Yusuf Ganil and Idowu Fobajo will be our guide. The program continues shortly. Welcome back. Rice is a staple food in most Nigerian homes and has always enjoyed increasing demand across the country. As a food that is easy to cook, there is hardly nowhere around the globe that this grain is not consumed. Given the importance of rice as a staple food in Nigeria, therefore, boosting its production has been accorded high priority by the government in some years back. However, despite this improvement, comparatively in Nigeria, statistics reveal that there is need for enormous potentials to raise and increase productivity. OGTV Social and Community News sought the people's opinion on why Nigerians choose rice over every other food available in the country. Let's join Yusuf Ganil for more details.
Rice is the most widely consumed staple food across the world among human population. It is the agricultural commodity with the third highest worldwide production of 741.5 million tons in 2014, after sugarcane of 1.9 billion tons and maize 1.0 million tons. Rice is the most important grain with regard to human nutrition and calorie intake, providing more than 1/50 of the calories consumed worldwide by humans. Having become a commodity that every Nigerians consider their best food years back, rice can only be taken during a festival period or at an occasion. It is worthy of note that rice in the past decades increased from 4.7%, almost 4 times the global consumption growth, and reached 6.4 million tons in 2017 for 20% of African consumption. It is of no doubt that both federal and state governments in Nigeria are taking steps to ensure that the country improve the potentials to raise productivity and increase production for the socio-economic growth of the country.
That we had to do something about rice, and we started producing rice on a large scale, and new rice mills came into operation. The import bill on rice dropped. The quantity of imported rice fell from 580,000 tons to 58,000 tons.
The question is, why rice over every other food in Nigeria?
When we are talking of food intake, is a very critical aspect of human existence, because without food you cannot survive, you cannot exist. Food is actually a very major ingredient that makes up the existence of an individual. Now to talk about the issue of rice, of course we all know that rice is a staple food and is a particular product that is readily available apart from the price.
I think before we used to eat rice, at least I could remember when I was growing up that we used to eat rice during festive periods and sometimes maybe on Sundays. But now I think it's the only staple food we have now that people can still afford to buy. Is either we eat rice, beans, then maybe gari. I think those are the three major food that we eat now, and anybody can just try to buy it. And
it has become a phenomenon for every household in Nigeria to eat rice. Mostly children, they prefer to eat rice. If they don't take rice, they take noodles. And the basic reason is that rice is, even though it's expensive to some extent, but the way you prepare, I mean, for rice to be ready for the children to eat, it is more convenient for the parents to put rice on the fire, put stew, put whatever ingredient they want to put, and it is ready.
With about just 100 naira, you can prepare rice. In those days, we buy a cup of rice for 75 naira, buy salt and oil, and add to it. You are done with rice. So that is the major reason why rice is very common in homes today as a food.
The reason why Nigeria consume too much rice is because rice is the only alternative food that is available that we can eat. Like compared to the local one, you know that local one is higher than the other one. So if you check the mood of this one is 350, while the other one goes like almost 800 or 1,000. So it's not everybody can afford that the money of the local one. You understand? And
according to some Nigerians, the local rice, popularly called ofada, should be given adequate attention to ensure mass production and also make the commodity affordable to the common man in the street.
Like I said, there are variety. We have the locally one known as ofada. Though if you want to take ofada now, you have to be ready to dip your hand into your purse because it's a bit expensive. But when you are talking of delicacy, sincerely, ofada rice, being a local product, is always very delicious for people to take. But talking generally, rice is a type of food that people generally across all strata prefers to eat because one, the mode of preparation, within 15-20 minutes you can always prepare your rice and get it done, unlike some other food items that will take longer time. And it's a food that when you take it, you will be satisfied.
Rice production needs funding, which should be the major concern of government, both at the federal and state levels, for quality production and thereby reduce the rate of importation.
I'm not sure if at the moment Nigeria can produce the quantity of rice that we need, that people consume daily. It's a kind of a very high thing that people are eating now. So majorly that's the only food. To me, I can eat three times a day rice. The government should try and put more effort in maybe putting more funds into agriculture. Because most of the rice we eat, they are not being produced in Nigeria. They are imported rice. At least if our country try in increasing the the rate of production of rice so that we'll be self-sufficient with the production of rice. I think it's going to be okay.
I would prefer that governments it's not only we should not leave it to federal government alone. Local government, state government, they should intensify more efforts to ensure that we have homegrown rice in Nigeria.
Governments have to help farmers so that they can produce enough. Without money and government support, Nigeria cannot go anywhere in production of rice.
Yes, I think if government could come up with their responsibility, full responsibility as far as agric is concerned, we will have this product we are talking about, rice, I mean, in particular, we have it cheaper, and many homes too will continue to have rice in their table. Take for instance, if government can give each farmer that are into arable to 200,000 naira, let me just take that, 200,000 naira as loan, not as grant now, because I know nothing goes for free as far as Nigeria is concerned today. As loan, you will, believe me, you will see a lot of differences.
According to a nutritionist, rice contains carbohydrate, protein and fat, but to be a balanced diet, vegetable and fruit should be added.
That you find people consuming, but when you consume them and you want them whole, you want to obtain the best form of the nutrients in them, you have to consume them in their whole form, in form of brown rice, in form of fada rice. And in case you come across the polished one, make sure you complement with other foods. For example, when you are taking your rice, make sure you take with egg, or you take with meat. Those ones are sources of proteins, or you take them with beans. There are some nutrients, amino acids you find in legumes. Legumes are beans that you can't find in cereals, rice, and there are some you find in rice that you can't find in legumes. So when you combine your rice with beans or with other sources of proteinous foods, they tend to complement each other, and by so doing, you can be assured that you are taking a more balanced or a more adequate diet.
Eat wise, as rice is the most common staple food worldwide, particularly in Nigeria. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV Social and Community News.
Thank you so much, Ganiyu. You've seen it and you've had it. Why rice is the preferred choice? As for me, I can take 3 times in a day. What of you? Lisa is an ancient community in Ifo, local government area of Ogun State. On the 22nd of October 2005, Lisa came into worldwide recognition after Bellevue aircraft crashed in the village, killing 117 people on board. And today, another history has been made through the head of the village, High Chief Oladele Odugbemi, Baale of Lisa, as dignitaries from all walks of life, both at local and international levels, have recognized his leadership qualities and his effort at turning the community round for good. Idowu Fabajo was at a recently held award presentation ceremony at the village for OGTV Social and Community News.
Lisa is a community located in Ifo local government area of Ogun State, Nigeria, occupied majorly by the Egba people. The village relied mainly on farming as a means of survival. On 22nd October 2005, Lisa came into worldwide recognition after a Boeing 737-200 aircraft crashed in the village, killing all 117 people on board. Since then, Lisa has been in a limelight, taking a bold step towards developing and improving the standard of living of the people in Lisa community. The Baale, High Chief Oladele Odugbemi, initiated a foundation in his name. Oladele Odugbemi Foundation was registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission on the 15th November 2013 and has been able to touch many lives through financial and material empowerment. Here is the official launch of the foundation, which has been able to spread its tentacles through the building of a police station in Lisa, health center, and full financial support to students in tertiary, secondary, and primary school levels, as well as empowerment of market women Okada riders, and the elderly in the society.
I am very optimistic that the Oladele Odugbemi Foundation will touch the lives and give hope to the less privileged. Since our Baale Odugbemi ascended the throne of his forefathers on September 24, 2006, he has touched so many lives and he has brought monumental developments to Lisa community.
The emergence of this NGO was born out of the dream and desire to help and assist the needy in our society in order to create an egalitarian society.
adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ baálẹ̀ wa Odúgbèmí wípé ohun tó ń ṣe ọdún àtúbọ̀ máa ràn lọ́wọ́ iṣẹ́ tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe ní agbègbè yìí tí a bá rí èèyàn méjì bíi tiẹ̀ ìbámu dàpọ̀ bọ̀ tó ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ adẹ̀dúpẹ́ lọ́rùn fún nílẹ̀ gbígbé àtàlẹ́fà.
This is not the first time. This is not the third time. àdúrà ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba kó jẹ́ kí adé òwòlé kíá adé ọ̀fà àṣẹ kó wọlé kó gùn lẹ́mìí pẹ̀lú àlàáfíà tọmọtọmọ tayátayá ó pẹ́ láṣẹ.
Our Baale is Aishim Najim Oladele Odugbemi. He's my father, my mentor, right from my secondary school. He has helped me. I finished last year, December. I want to appreciate him for what he has done for me.
Ayọ̀ tá à ń ṣe lórí lórí ó jẹ́ èmi náà lójú nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run ṣe ní ọjọ́ tí orí nǹkan ńlá ni wọ́n ṣe léèyàn fi launch foundation.
It was a 3-in-1 event as High Chief Oladele Odugbemi bagged a word of integrity and good governance of Kwame Nkrumah, Nelson Mandela Legendary, presented by the top leaders international group all the way from Ghana.
Chief Odugbemi is being bestowed with the award for his contribution towards community development, social economic development of Lisa Town and environs, peaceful coexistence and visionary leadership. He is a leader with visionary foresight, mindset of uplifting the standard of life of his people socially and economically, including unquantifiable contribution to the development of Lisa Town in Ogun State, Nigeria.
Iwájú ló máa lọ kékeré ló ṣe wà báyọ̀ ìdàgbà ìwọ náà dàgbà dà wà ní nǹkan tàgbà ni ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí níná kò ní bàjẹ́ lọ́tẹ̀ tiwa kò ní bàjẹ́ lẹ́yìn tiwa náà gbogbo eré àdúgbò yìí aṣojú gbogbo wa bá a ti mú mọ́ pé bó ṣe ń wù wá lọ́kàn wa kádùúgbò yìí rí Olúwa gbé débẹ̀ o kò débẹ̀ iṣẹ́ wa a sì níṣẹ́ ṣe Olúwa fún wa ṣe.
Part of the event was the inauguration of High Chief Oladele Odugbemi as the royal patron of the Freelance and Independent Broadcasters Association, FIBAN, Lagos State Chapter.
Jésù Olúwa wa.
Ọlọ́run mi ò ní bá lè ọ̀dẹ̀.
Ẹ máa pè é tẹ̀lé mi. F I B A FIBAN.
Congratulations.
FIBAN. Báyọ̀ ẹ wá bá wa gbé FIBAN yẹn lẹ́bẹ̀ẹ́ tẹ́jọ́ àwọn tó fọwọ́ wọlé ẹ̀jẹ̀ kọrin wọn fọwọ́ wọlé àfọwọ́ wọlé mi.
Happy ba. Happy ba. Happy ba. Láti gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ṣe fún mi lẹ́nìí ilé rédíò kan máa sọ̀kalẹ̀ sí Lísà láìpẹ́. Láti orí àwọn top leaders, I appreciate you guys so much. The award being given to me today, which was presented to me today, is dedicated to the entire community of Lísà and to humanity. This special inauguration of my good self as the royal patron of gbogbo sọ̀rọ̀ lápapọ̀ FIBA. In fact, wholeheartedly, I accept it, and I assure you, you will never be disappointed. This is the beginning of great things to come in the individual life of each one of you.
The event could not be completed without showcasing the cultural heritage of the community.
Foundation was registered or pre-registration of the foundation. The events are so numerous, like I said. We've done a lot within and outside this community. In terms of since 2007 was installed by 2006 by Alaki and Paramount leader of the Bala July 24, 2006. It was from fair. There. So after that, 2007, I brought Zimbabwe sponsored NDE program here. That's the National Delegate of Employment. First of all, is road infrastructure. We are lacking road infrastructure both in the rural and the urban area.
Ido Fabajo, OG TV Social and Community News.